who felt abandoned, neglected over many years. This trip alone is reassuring. They now can believe that government knows about them, that they are a problem. So I commend this initiative of going around the Niger Delta area by Mr. Vice President himself and trying to see the project himself and seeing the people and touching them and understanding how they feel.
99.9% of projects in Imo State belonging to either the federal government directly or the NDDC are abandoned. We feel like this is an opportunity for the acting president to come and see things for himself.
Andrew has spoken as other concerned young men who are here concerning good government in the line, and they are so elated that the present government is ready to offer that good governance and make sure that all abandoned projects are completed sooner than later. From Oaje Egbema, Ogota, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
And for stories from the National Assembly now, the National Assembly has urged ministries, departments and agencies to ensure that funds appropriated for capital projects are judiciously utilized for national development. This came up when the Joint Committee of the Senate and House of Representatives visited the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in continuation with its oversight functions. National Assembly correspondent Kenneth Nani has the report.
Prominent feature in the oversight function of the committees of the
also represents the best of this country.
The Joint Committee members also explained that the visit has availed them of important issues that will guide them in the 2017 appropriations. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
The federal government has reiterated its commitment to reviving the mining and steel sector of the economy for the attainment of the desired goal in its economic diversification drive. This came up at the budget defense held by the Senate Committee on Power and Steel Development and Metallurgy. National Assembly correspondent Ifeanyi Ezumba has this one.
The 2017 total budget proposal for Mines and Steel Ministry is put at 23 billion naira. In the financial year, the sector will work to make mining more competitive in the global mining space and focus on priority areas to drive growth, with Ajaokuta steel industry on its priority list.
We have just managed to sign an agreement with the company that took us to arbitration in the UK, and we are in the process of finalizing the due diligence and audit of the National Iron Ore Mining Company, and then retrieving Ajaokuta to put it back to those who have expressed interest. And we have a lot of countries and institutions that have expressed interest, both Nigerian and foreign, in working with this. Whilst we're doing that, we are also working on the external infrastructure, so because Ajaokuta will not work if you don't get the external infrastructure right. So the roads, the rail are all being worked on now.
In a related development, the ministry was also at the House Committee on Steel to brief the legislatures on how they intend to commence the process of working with national and state legislatures and government to address road gaps and resolve conflicts in mineral resources legislation. In line with this, the House Committee on Steel has assured of maximum cooperation by the legislature with the executive to attain the desired result.
The Honourable Minister has actually made his own presentation regarding his 2016-2017 budget. And as far as we are concerned, the committee in the House of Reps is very satisfied with the presentation of the Honourable Minister.
The ministry, however, appealed for patience and perseverance as they take the right measures and sustainable reform that will set the nation's mining industry on the path of sustainable growth. From the National Assembly, Ifeanyi Ezumba, NTA News.
For a proactive, responsive, friendly and efficient police force, there must be the facilitation and provision of adequate resources. This was the consensus when the Minister of Interior, Abdurrahman Dambazau, and the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, appeared before the House Committee on Police Affairs to defend the 2017 budget estimates. National Assembly correspondent Dennis Adegunloye reports.
The Minister of Interior, Abdulrahman Dambazao, emphasized the need for special intervention for the police so that ongoing projects can be completed and effective policing of the country for optimum security can be achieved.
We don't have any intervention that will allow any project to be abandoned. We want police to be able to handle this project themselves.
Defending a 323 billion naira 2017 budget estimate, the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, said the overhead allocation is to fund daily administration of the force, including maintenance of vehicles, aircrafts and marine patrol boats, as well as local and international training. He also stressed the importance of the construction of training schools for counter-terrorism and other critical logistics for effective operations.
Pending before the Judicial Assembly since 2009 is aimed at bridging the funding gap. I therefore urge the 8th National Assembly to, as a matter of urgency, consider and pass into law the Police Trust Fund Bill.
The chairman of the House Committee on Police Affairs, having listened to the submissions, was in no doubt that extra funding would be required to enhance effectiveness and efficiency of the Nigerian police force.
It's left for us now to see how we can now adjust or the estimate or increase the estimate based on what we feel is right.
Also present at the interaction was the Chairman, Police Service Commission, Mike Okiru. The Nigerian police force currently has 7,000 police formations and units across the country. From the National Assembly, Dennis Adigunloye, NTA News.
To effectively function in fighting and checking crime in the country, guests on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria said the police need robust funding. Abdulmalik Adiu has the report.
From logistics to manpower and welfare, guests on Good Morning Nigeria, some of them retired policemen in different capacities, were unanimous that without adequate funding, the police will continue to underperform. The guests observed that over the years, budgetary allocations to the police have been grossly below proposals.
Because there's a link between funding and security. If you fail to fund the police, you are disturbing the status of this country of good security.
We certainly must provide the environment that is going to be conducive for business to thrive. And by this, we also have to look at the economics of what is happening. Even if the police is given the entire needs, 100% of what they requested, if we look at what inflation is doing to the system, we may not be able to achieve what we want the police to achieve.
In view of competing demands on the federal government, former DIG Israel Ajao pointed at Lagos State Security Trust Fund as an alternative funding model for the Nigerian police force and urged other state governments to adopt it.
So I believe that, well, the federal government has challenges. All of us know it, we cannot deny it. But let us look into the areas of alternative supports to the police. Trust fund. Even if you cannot do it at the level Governor Akin Nambode is doing it in Lagos, you can do it at a lower level. It's better than doing nothing. And I believe that if all hands are on deck in this direction, the funding of the police and the preparedness of the police to face challenges will be better off.
The guest also called for passage of the Police Trust Fund Bill, which seeks to provide for contributions from various organizations and all levels of government.
What we need to do is to collectively pay attention to contribution towards funding the police.
If these things are done with sincerity and honesty of purpose, the Nigerian police will be better placed to continue to carry out their functions without any let or hindrance.
In Abuja, Abdulmalik Adiu, NTA News.
The Acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onorin, has called on state governments to domesticate the Administration of Criminal Justice Act as a way of enhancing the dispensation of justice in the country. He made the call in his message to the opening of a national colloquium on the Administration of Criminal Justice Act holding in Abuja. Femi Okeowo has the report.
While the Administration of Criminal Justice Act is still struggling to find a good footing in the Federal High Court and the FCT High Court, where it's already in use, only 7 states have so far domesticated the Act, making the good provisions of that Act yet underutilized in Nigeria. It is in this light that the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, in his message, which was delivered by a Justice of the Supreme Court, Justice Mary Peter Odili, called on the remaining states to take full benefits of the Act by adopting them for their criminal justice dispensation.
The purpose of this Act is to ensure that the system of administration of criminal justice in Nigeria promotes efficient management of criminal justice institutions, speedy dispensation of justice, protection of the society from crime, and protection of the rights and interests of the suspects, the defendant, and the victim. From their objectives, it is imperative that acts be domesticated at the state level.
Chief Judge of the FCT High Court, Justice Ishak Bello, whose court is already implementing the Act, being a federal court, warned against the abuse of the Act by stakeholders in the justice sector.
It's not just having the uniformity. It has the added advantage of making prosecution less cumbersome.
Although many often do not realize it, we can neither have a robust economy nor a sound political system without an effective system of criminal justice administration.
The colloquium is for attorney generals and directors of public prosecution in the already implementing states and other selected states who are in the process of adopting the Act. In Abuja, Femi Okeowo, NTA News.
More judicial matters and other stories as we go over to Lagos for our next set of stories.
Thank you, Phil. Good afternoon and warm welcome to Lagos. The Federal High Court Lagos has fixed the 1st of March for the commencement of trial of the former governor of Oyo State, Rashidi Ladoja. Justice Mohammed Idris gave the trial date at the resumed hearing of the matter in Lagos. Viera Chinwoba has the report.
The Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, had dragged the former Oyo State Governor, Rashidi Ladoja, alongside one of his aides, Wahid Akombi, to court over an alleged 4.7 billion naira fraud. EFCC had in November 2008 arraigned the two on a 10-count charge of conspiracy and conversion of properties and resources accruing from an alleged illegal act with the intention of concealing it. EFCC also alleged that Ladoja used 42 million naira out of the proceeds to purchase an armored Land Cruiser SUV and remitted about 600,000 pounds to one Bimpe Ladoja in London. Ladoja and Akombi, however, pleaded not guilty. After the arraignment, the defendants asked the court to quash the charge for not disclosing a prima facie case against them. Following the dismissal of the application, counsel to Ladoja, Wala Olanikpeko, appealed the judgment at the Court of Appeal. The appellate court had ordered the former governor back to the lower court to face trial. Ladoja and Akombi were arraigned on an amended 8-count charge of money laundering and unlawful conversion of funds belonging to Oyo State to their personal use. After listening to the argument of both parties, Justice Mohammed Idris fixed the 1st of March for trial. In Lagos, Viera Chumuba, NTA News.
The latest set of Nigerians who voluntarily returned from Libya have appealed to the federal government to launch a nationwide campaign aimed at discouraging ignorant Nigerians from endangering their lives while in search of golden fleas abroad. This batch of returnees was received by officials of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos. Imer Udori compiled this report.
Among the 161 voluntary returnees are 143 adults, comprising 103 females, 40 males, and 9 underage children, as well as 9 infants. The group was received by officials of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, International Organization for Migration, IOM, among other government agencies.
We had 3 medical cases on board. Only one can be considered a serious case, and that is a case of fracture. The other 2 are just minor cases.
20% of them, they will be entitled to some small integration assistance,
basically to try help them back on their feet.
The Senior Special Assistant to the President on Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Matters, Abike Dabiri Erewa, who was represented, lamented the hostile treatment Nigerians have continued to endure in other countries.
Federal government have been telling them that it's no longer green out there. You should come back home and let us salvage it together. It's better here in Nigeria.
Some of the returnees revealed that they had to flee Libya following hostilities from nationals.
No freedom of movement, so Libya is no good. So I prefer you as in she just stay in that country.
More than 800 Nigerians have voluntarily returned home from Libya between 2016 and February this year. Another set is expected next week. Meanwhile, 12,000 Nigerians who are reportedly trapped in Germany are expected to return in no distant time.
The Nigerian Navy says its robust policing of the country's waterways and creeks is yielding positive results, as it has helped in reducing the activities of pipeline vandals and other criminal activities in Nigeria's maritime domain. The flag officer commanding Western Naval Command stated this when he received participants of Course 25 of the National Defense College in Lagos. Ken Egbeluhe has the details.
Part of the statutory responsibility of the Nigerian Navy is to protect and secure the nation's maritime domain from all forms of criminal activities. These are achieved by deploying a platform to fight against pirates and crude oil thefts in the nation's waterways. The Western Naval Command, the premier command of the Nigerian Navy, says the command has recorded huge success as it has arrested a number of vessels in its operations.
Patrols by surface vessels were made possible due to Maritime Domains Awareness information from the Regional Maritime Awareness Capability Center.
The familiarization visit of participants from the National Defense College Course 25 offers a veritable opportunity to assess first-hand knowledge of the operational activities of the command.
And we see this visit as one of those visits that will help us in enhancing the capability of our personnel, help the Nigerian Navy, and in particular the Western Naval Command, to perform our statutory roles, especially securing and making the waterways conducive for enhanced national prosperity.
The major objective is to let the participants be aware of the capability, effectiveness, and the efficiency of our armed forces, so that when we go back, it will assist them also in writing their reports.
Participants are expected to visit other military formations in the state. In Lagos, Ken Igbeluge, NTA News.
Well, that does it from Lagos. It's back to you, Phil, for more on Nationwide. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Demola in Lagos. The present administration is committed to equipping Nigeria's land borders with the technology to checkmate influx of foreigners and arms, to reduce cases of herdsmen and farmers' clashes, as well as other security challenges. Minister of Interior Abdurrahman Dambazao gave this indication while commissioning a passport office complex in Gwagwalada Area Council of the FCT. Marjinatu Adam Said was there.
The Nigeria Immigration Service new passport office is kick-starting a control of illegal migration along land borders. This will go a long way to address issues of farmers' herdsmen conflict and other security challenges confronting the country.
We must be able to identify the routes that they should move across. We must prepare those reception centers where we receive them, document them, ensure that they have those certificates and they move. In that way, we'll be able to monitor their movements to and fro.
For many years, the Nigeria Immigration Service passport office in Gwagwalada operates in a rented apartment. This, the Comptroller General believes, is unacceptable. This ceremony here is a celebration of the service building.
We felt instead of paying rent, we must complete our own property so that it will provide good service delivery to the public. Also, we'll stop paying rent, is our property.
The head of the passport unit, Rabi Garba, believes that the building is already giving them images of improved service delivery. On some of the challenges confronting applicants while applying for the passport, the Comptroller General, Nigeria Immigration Service, Mohammed Babandede, says the challenges will soon be addressed. From the Gwagwalada Area Council of the FCT, Marjana to Adam Said, NTA News.
And South Korea is to set aside funds in its 2018 budget to support Borno State towards meeting the needs of the internally displaced persons and returnees who fled their communities due to activities of Boko Haram insurgents. Korean ambassador to Nigeria disclosed this at a meeting with United Nations Population Fund and state government key partners during his visit to Maiduguri. The report.
Borno has been rightly described as a state with the highest number of displaced persons, amounting to 1.4, who are in dire need of humanitarian assistance in all ramifications. South Korean ambassador to Nigeria, Kyun Duk-no, who led group of experts, expressed his country's readiness to partner UNFPA in rendering humanitarian assistance in the state, stressing that already his government has provided assistance in the areas of agriculture, education, ICT and vocational training.
Basically, our focus will be given to the health area, especially women and girls who suffered from the crisis.
Deputy Regional Director UNFPA Beatrice Mutali expressed gratitude to South Korean government for identifying with the organization, saying UNFPA in the state has over the years intervened in reproductive health service, psychosocial support, prevention and response to gender-based violence. Discussing on the humanitarian situation, level of response and challenges in Borno, issues of priority for support to include health, rebuilding, reintegration, psychosocial support, and girl-child education, among others, were highlighted by state government key partners. The technical team of the South Korean ambassador to Nigeria then moved to the state specialist hospital to assess the facilities at the Fistula Center for Onward funding. They were received and briefed by some top management staff of the hospital, where they were confronted with problems of lack of bed space and theater equipment by the center. In Maiduguri, Naomi Aboku, NTA News.
Nigeria's quest for sustainable peace and development is achievable if citizens rise above sentiments, prejudices, and bitterness. This was the stand of discussants on NTA's Current Affairs program, Tuesday Live. Talatu Ezirike has the report.
Peace building is a global concern, especially in tackling issues such as inequality and the increasing speed of hate speeches that threaten stability. Analysts say Nigeria is not left out as it faces problems of unguarded agitations, militancy, and insurgency, which are caused by factors that include poverty, social injustice, ethnicity, and religious bias that give rise to mistrust, thereby affecting national unity and security.
The revolution that was largely expected out of the Buhari administration, if it had been really concentrated, if it had been deepened, by now I can tell you that a large part of Nigerian society would have been brought to shape. However, the chance is not lost. We can still deepen that revolution by making sure that we reconstruct state institutions to champion the cause of change.
The moment we ceased producing and we were depending on the share we can get from oil, discrimination setting, that what we now call recession could be a challenge, but it could be an opportunity to get back to production, to get back to loving that person who can help you produce, instead of loving your brother who can help you consume.
If the crises are said to be religious, why are problems that are identical to what obtains elsewhere are now different in maybe the northern part of the country?
For others like Timi Adepoju, whose parents and siblings were killed in his presence in one of the Bauchi State's crises by friends he grew up with, his stand is that there is no compromise to true reconciliation and peace.
I went back to Bauchi State, meet most of these perpetrators of the evil act, make them my friends, forgive them, and thereby become a peacemaker.
Right.
There is need for governments at all levels to take care of the welfare of our media personnel and also that of security. If these two institutions are well taken care of, our problems will be drastically reduced.
It is strongly held that a lot can be achieved if the young ones imbibe right values and principles, as well as proper management of information technology and alien culture. Talati Ezerike, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has directed all vice-chancellors to prioritize and complete all ongoing projects in their institutions before embarking on new projects. The president gave the directive at the second convocation ceremony of Federal University Dutse. Salisu Aminu has the report.
A total of 294 students graduated in different disciplines. 18 of the graduating students made first class. President Muhammad Buhari, represented by the Executive Secretary, National University Commission, Professor Abubakar Adamu Rashid, said the present administration remains resolute in ensuring quality education in Nigeria.
6 years down the lane, the university is graduating its second set of students, which is indeed very commendable. While the federal government appreciates this achievement, it is important that I pay special tribute to the host community for providing the conducive atmosphere and for peaceful coexistence.
The Pro-Chancellor of the institution, Alhaji Ibrahim Akuyam, urged the graduates to be good ambassadors of their alma mater. The Vice-Chancellor of the institution, Professor Fatima Batul Mukhtar, said the graduating students are worthy in character and learning and can compete with their counterparts from other institutions. She said by next academic session, the university will commence bachelor's degree in management sciences. The best graduating student from the Faculty of Agriculture, Mr. Agono Yasin Awal, went home with the 4 prizes out of the 7 prizes that were presented, including the Chancellor's Prize for the overall best graduating student. From Dutse, Salis Aminu, NTA News.
Efforts of the Buhari administration to check insecurity, reduce corruption to the lowest level, as well as take Nigeria out of recession, have continued to receive support of people from all strata of this society. The latest is the National Union of Bauchi State Students. Timothy Yusuf has the story.
The journey to restore Nigeria's lost glory by the current administration may be slow but sure, according to many. A major step towards attaining that feat is patience.
Things might be difficult today, but I am completely assured that if we stay the course, if we continue to produce as we are producing, give the right incentives to manufacturers, give the right incentives to farmers, give the right incentives, and help the poor today with the things we are doing, conditional cash transfers, employment, and all of those kinds of things. This country will not only get out of recession, but it will go towards a path of sustainable development.
There is nothing that, violence can deliver, that the peace cannot solve it.
The National Executive of the Bauchi State Students' Union is particular about the administration's war against corruption, just as they believe that the seeming hardship being experienced by some Nigerians due to the misdeeds of the past will soon become a thing of the past.
If the government are trying to do things, put things into order, then I think it's high time we give them time.
They further enjoined politicians across the board to desist from the habit of politicizing students' associations, as well as using them as tools to attack political rivals.
Failure to abide by this will draw the total backlash of over 1.5 million Bauchi State students.
In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
NTA Television College partners Board of Technical Education on new curriculum development. Let's go over now to Jos Network Center for details. Caleb is our guide. Hello.
Hello, welcome to Jos. Bauchi State Government has flagged off the distribution of growth enhancement support scheme facilities to farmers in the state. Alamin Labaran Ibrahim reports that the State Commissioner for Agriculture, Malam Yakubu Kirfi, reiterates essence of the scheme, which is to increase farmers' productivity and income to achieve food security.
Malam Yakubu Kirfi pointed out that since the introduction of e-wallet system of fertilizer distribution in 2012, Bauchi State is in the forefront of registering its farmers in enhancing agricultural activities to boost the economy of the state and the country at large.
You may know that since 2012, when the normal program was introduced by the federal government for the entire nation, Bauchi State did not only embrace the program, but has been an active participant and excelled among all the states in the areas of registration and agro-input redemption.
The Commissioner, while calling on farmers to make best use of the items given to them, appealed to them to exercise patience, as the authority concerned is doing everything possible to clear the rowdy nature of the farmers who troop to the sales outlet in hundreds. The Director, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Bauchi, Alhaji Muhammad Yusuf, said a total of 31,756 farmers across the state will benefit from the program.
However, in line with its policy of ensuring transparency and accountability in the implementation of all its programs, a number of measures have been put in place to ensure that both the farmer and the government are not in any way shortchanged.
Some farmers interviewed commended the government for the program, but appealed to the authority concerned to devise better means of distributing the items. In Bauchi, Amin Labram Ibrahim, NTA News.
Efforts by the Nigerian Television Authority to reposition its training arm, the NTA Television College in Jos, has received a boost. Aminu Umar reports that this is coming after the visit of the National Board for Technical Education, NBTE, to the college.
Less than 30% of the growing number of applicants into the Nigerian tertiary institutions successfully secure admission annually. To address this challenge and widen the chances of those seeking admission, in addition to integrating the formal and non-formal sectors, the National Board for Technical Education introduced the National Innovation Diploma. At the National Curriculum Workshop, sponsored by NTA Television College Jos, the team leader from NBTE, Malam Abdul Mata, says the innovation is to marry competence, skills and certification, as well as open wider access to innovation for a more enterprising society.
The participants are drawn from the academics, practitioners, professional bodies to ensure that the interests of trainees are considered both in training and professional practice for better productivity.
Rector NTA Television College, Dr. Barnabas Bam, says the college is determined to provide a fertile ground for training of journalists.
And because we are television house, because we are leaders in the industry, we are very, very keen on the kind of people who churn out in the market.
National Innovation Diploma, NID, and Higher National Innovation Diploma, HIND, are equivalent to the National Diploma and Higher National Diploma offered by polytechnics and monotechnics in the country. In Jos, Aminu Umar, NTA News.
Association of People Living with Disability in Plateau were divided over the nomination of James Lalu as chairman, State Disability Rights Commission. NIT Dimka reports that some members of the association staged a peaceful protest at the State House of Assembly in Jos.
The aggrieved group of persons living with disability led by Mr. Joshua Yenle said Mr. Lalu has in the past 8 years served in various capacities in government. He said in those years, funds meant for the disabled persons in the state were allegedly misappropriated by Mr. Lalu.
Persons with disabilities are mourning today. Persons with disabilities are disappointed today. Persons with disabilities are crying today. Persons with disabilities are disappointed because of the nomination of James Lalu.
The Speaker, in his response, acknowledged the receipt of petitions by the group against Mr. Lalu, but explained that since the group has also taken the matter before a competent court, the outcome of the court must not be preempted.
Our rules, specifically Rule 8, Order 8, Rule 6,
House of Assembly to entertain any case that is in the court of law. Because it means we are trying to preempt the decision of the court.
Meanwhile, the pro-Lalu group, also carrying placards, expressed confidence in his experience over the years and applauded the choice of James Lalu by the governor. In the meantime, the House screened and confirmed the nomination of Mr. James Lalu as Chairman, Plateau State Disability Rights Commission. In Jos, Neat Dimka, NTA News.
Let's continue with Phil in Abuja.
Thank you very much. A reminder that you can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. This is nationwide on the network service of the NTA. We'll pause now for some messages to join us again.
From what we have seen, we have the capacity which we can rapidly develop of feeding ourselves. If we don't import rice, we stop importing corn and other grains, Nigeria will have plenty of money to invest into developing industries, especially manufacturing, textiles and so on, and develop iron and steel, and complement the infrastructure development. So really, the opportunities are virtually limitless, and we are very, very aware of this, and we are prepared to exploit it to the fullest.
House Committee on Gas Resources invites the public to a public hearing for an act to provide for the establishment of the Nigerian Gas Processing and Marketing Regulatory Board and a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of the National Gas Resources Development Agency. The public is requested to submit memoranda on the above bills to the committee secretariat at Committee Room 24, second floor, House of Representatives. Date February 16th, 2017. Time 10 a.m. Venue Conference Room 019, House of Representatives, New Building, Abuja. For further enquiries, contact the clerk on 0806-329-9800. Honorable Frederick Y. Agbedi, Chairman, Announcer.
Now, you can hold that dream occasion without stress. Horizon Caterers will provide answers to all your catering questions. Exquisite hall designs, mouth-watering and nourishing local and continental cuisine, suitable for all types of ceremonies, including weddings, AGMs, business luncheon, cocktails. Name it, we can bring it. Our chefs and executive waiters give your guests that unforgettable experience in service. Our service covers all states of the Federation. Call us today to book your occasions. 0805-502-9637, 0803-450-9726, 0909-9708-111. Horizon Caterers, experience catering beyond the horizon.
The value project of building a corrupt-free generation through education using an anti-corruption campaign for Nigerian children will be launched by President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, on Thursday, 16th February 2017. Time 10 a.m. prompt. Venue, the NAF Conference Center, Abuja.
Yeah, it is the value project because when you catch them young, the younger ones will grow up into the society as future leaders.
Love is in the air, and your rib-cracking comedy series, Professor John Boone, examines the follies, the foibles, and the realities of Valentine's Day.
My baby Flash will fly like a dash of awesome cash. My heart is loving you today, no clash.
I'm here to take my baby out for a bash, man. It's Valentine. We're going to wine and dine, man.
What is love to Carol?
If you give Carol this thing, he will insult you. You know nothing about love. You must not shop some things to buy there.
What is love to Professor John Boone?
Love is like a fire. Handle it well, it can light up your life. Handle it carelessly,
it can burn you to death.
Find out how love swings in Be My Vow episode of Professor John Bull.
The love I get for you, even me said the fear. Samu, as you are strong, you don't love girl like that.
Professor John Bull, laugh like never before.
Over and out.
Brought to you by Glow.
Welcome to the new speed of life. Do you crave class? Do you have taste? Do you care about comfort? If you do, then for your next event, a stay away from home, a business trip, or a holiday, visit Jade's Hotel at 24 Undola Crescent, Wuse Zone 5, Abuja. Check out our world-class services, exquisite suites, restaurant and bar, gymnasium, spa and grills, and our outdoor catering services and cuisines. At Jade's, it can only be better. For bookings and reservations, visit us today at 24 Undola Crescent, Wuse Zone 5, Abuja, or visit www.jadeshotels.com. Our email address is info@jadeshotels.com. You can also call us on 09291-9321 or 0810-909-7956. Jade's Hotels. Welcome to life.
It's good to know that you're still tuned to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. To structurally engage in continuous generation and exploitation of series of technological innovations that could lead to creation and development of new products and processes, there is the need to provide the nation's inventors and innovators with financial backing for encouragement. This, the Presidential Standing Committee on Innovation did when it presented 56 Nigerians with checks of various amounts to further develop their technological projects. Science correspondent Kirian Umayo reports that close to 100 million naira was disbursed during the presentation ceremony.
Impressed by the complex and diverse technological innovations and inventions available in Nigeria, Minister of Science and Technology Dr. Borno Oni noted that when adequately harnessed, they will address challenges of unemployment and promote accelerated development in all ramifications. He said that the current administration is desirous of ensuring that creativity, inventions, and innovations become critical factors in national development, adding that many of the inventions will be patented to protect the creative entrepreneurs' intellectual property.
Government is taking this action because your success will lead to the development of small and medium-scale enterprises that will in turn enhance job and wealth creation in Nigeria.
In the next few months, with the little money we are giving to you, you will be able to complete your innovations.
3 innovators received the highest amount of money. Dr. Ezekiel Iziogo, who got 10 million naira, is the highest recipient. He developed self-sustaining a magnetodynamic machine that does not require fuel or any external source of energy. Yemi Oshifaduri, 4 million naira, he invented electrode utilizing 80% local raw materials, while the nation's first lady mechanic, Sandra Agebo, 5 million, was encouraged for innovation in automobile mechanics.
Science said it is impossible to build a perpetual motion machine. That's what we have built. And we're the first in the world. 139 countries are patenting it. 50-something have already finished their patenting process.
Process of upgrading what we have achieved right now, I think the funding which the government has given us will try as much as possible to scale it up.
I can turn any CD speaker to amplifier. I can train youth on empowerment in 1 week time. They can turn anything that is turnable into amplifier.
We are into the production of pap, baby food, fortified with vitamin A. This pap, we've added a soya milk to make it as milk.
From a magnetodynamics, rechargeable public address system, cement concentrate from cassava, to software development, production of biogas from animal dung, and of course aircraft manufacturing. It is amazing what Nigerians can really do. They have been given grants to help them grow in their chosen technologies, but a lot more needs to be done with respect to commercialization and mass production. In Abuja, Kirian Umayo, NTA News.
Thank you, Kirian. Definitely a boost to technological development in the country. Enugu State Governor signs 2017 appropriation bill into law. Let's join Ngozi in an Enugu Network Center for details of this and more.
Thank you, Phil, and welcome to Enugu Network Center. Enugu State Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi has signed the State 2017 appropriation bill into law. The budget, with minor adjustments, did not, however, alter the budget estimate of 105 billion naira. Ijoma Ugweke has the details.
The governor, after signing the appropriation bill, assured the commitment of the state government to the full implementation of the budget. He said the present administration has set out projects and programs that will be of benefit to the people and ensure rapid development of the state. Governor Ugwuanyi commended the legislators for the speedy passage of the budget.
We should reassure them that our promise to deliver good governance and selfless service to the state remains non-negotiable.
The Speaker, Enugu State House of Assembly, Chief Edward Obosi, who presented the budget to the governor for signing after deliberation and consideration, said representatives of various ministries and parastatals were summoned for budget defense and some adjustments made.
The budget, in the course of doing our job and doing the budget defense, we made some adjustments and made some shifts of money because of the present economic situation in the country.
The signing of the budget tagged Budget of Economic Recovery and Inclusive Development was witnessed by key players in governance of the state. In Enugu, Ijoma Ugweke, NTA News.
That's the most you can take from that zone. Borno State Governor Samuel Otom has effected a cabinet reshuffle with the appointment of a new secretary to the state government, Professor Anthony Ijoho, a senior advocate of Nigeria. A statement by the special advisor to the governor on media and ICT, Tahav Agedzwa, indicates 4 commissioners, those of information and orientation, water resources and environment, women affairs and social development, and commissioner of arts, culture and tourism, and a special advisor on small and medium enterprises and micro financing were dropped in the exercise. Time now to go to our Benin Network Center, and Obehi is standing by to take us through the reports in that zone.
Hello, Phil. Thank you for joining us in Benin. The Edo State Deputy Governor, Philip Shaibu, has distributed income-generating equipment to about 100 persons in Esako Federal Constituency of the state. Elizabeth Owotoma has the report.
That was the mood of the people of Esako Federal Constituency, who trooped out en masse not only to receive the income-generating equipment, but to celebrate the former House of Rep member, whose impact has been felt in the length and breadth of his constituency in the shortest time. Items donated include 14 sewing machines, 17 grinding machines, 10 generating sets, 16 motorcycles, and 7 tricycles distributed across the wards in the constituency. He added that in a month's time, a 3-block of classrooms in 3 public schools will be inaugurated.
The constituency project now is in the Edo State, which has to do with the vision of the governor of the state, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, of creating at least a minimum of 200,000 jobs, and also turning our basic advantage of geographical advantage into economic viability.
To the beneficiaries, the equipment came at the right time.
I'll be happy because the job we've done it.
I'm going to use it for commercial purposes.
As a deputy governor, by the grace of God, he helped the poor. Me, myself, I will try my best to help the poor.
State Chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Anselm Ojizwa, Aidonoje of South Ibi, among other dignitaries who graced the occasion, described Philip Shaibu as a grassroots man.
From Esako Federal Constituency, Elizabeth Owotoma, NTA News.
Thank you, Obehi, from our Benin Network Center. Now for some global news. 2 months after Angola is declared free of yellow fever outbreak, the World Health Organization, WHO, has given its neighbor, the Democratic Republic of Congo, a clean bill of health from the epidemic after decades of outbreak. And 3 suspects arrested after 2 journalists were killed in a live broadcast in the Dominican Republic. For more, let's join Ronke Kolawole.
In Kenya, the Court of Appeal has ordered the release of the 7 officials of the National Doctors Union arrested on Monday to enable them continue negotiations with the government of President Uhuru Kenyatta. The doctors were arrested during a protest calling on government to implement the 150 to 180% pay rise and improved working conditions agreed upon in 2013. Still in Africa, a regional emergency meeting has been held in Zimbabwe to enable the East African region decide on how to tackle famine and severe food insecurity now being compounded by the emergence of new pests and rising food prices. In the meantime, South Africa is seeking assistance from China on capacity building and skills development for its nuclear workforce as it gears up for its most ambitious nuclear projects in history. The move comes as the first set of workers began a training course at the Chinese University on nuclear power plant. News from Libya indicates that attempts by rival government to reach a peace settlement in Egypt have failed, but agreement was reached on fresh parliamentary elections and a presidential contest in February 2018. For Global Tidbits, Ronke Kolawole, NTA News.
And now for sports, and it's cherry news as Team Nigeria wins first medal in the African Continental Road Cycling Championship in Egypt. And Usain Bolt sets to retire in August after the World Championships in London. Kene Imabodike has this and more.
Jacinta Okorie has won Team Nigeria's first medal at the ongoing African Continental Road Championship in Luxor, Egypt. Okorie, who claimed the bronze, finished third in the individual time trial junior girls category behind Ethiopian duo Sadkan Gabriel Medin and Zayed Haftu Halo, who came